Good evening and welcome to the November 9th, 2020 meeting of the Galesburg City Council. Thank you for joining us in what we realize may be a challenging format, but for the safety of ourselves and others, this is how we will be conducting business for the near future. And with that, I will call the meeting to order. And we will do a roll call for presence. So Trustee Marble, we'll shoot that one to you. Thank you.
Dennis Holman.
Here.
Becky Harmon.
Here.
Carol Werdinger.
Here.
Doug Smith.
Here.
Rich Pulaski.
Here.
Linda Marble. Here. Lori West.
Here. Okay, we'll go on to approval of the agenda. Trustees, I do have a few items that we've added to the agenda today. So one is that we will be adding agenda item, the city manager resolution. We'll be looking at that after the city manager contract. So that would be number 10. We'll be adding presentation of personnel committee minutes and recommendations for consideration. The recommendations probably considering for the December meeting as 11. And we will be adding resolution to give the December Board of Review some flexibility on their dates. So that will be number 12.
Repeat that, will you?
Yes, Board of Review resolution.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've got, we're adding the, and I just numbered them accordingly. Number 10, the city manager resolution. Number 11, personnel minutes and recommendations. And number 12, Board of Review date, meeting date resolutions. The resolution. Everybody good with that? Got it?
Got it.
Okay, and I will give a brief report after the agenda is approved. So with that, floor would be open for motion to approve the additions to the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the November 9th, 2020 agenda with the additions thereto.
I'll support.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Very good. I'm just going to take just a minute before we move into citizen comment to give council a brief update of very quickly changing things here in the city. Last Thursday was City Manager Barracker's last day. Hopefully, we have a tentative start date of the 16th once we have, which is next Monday. Once we have a contract finalized with Sarah Joshi. And I'm excited about that. We did hire a treasurer / ordinance enforcement officer who unfortunately on his first day tested positive for COVID. That was the first quarantine. And he resigned his position for a different job. So we now have an opening again in Treasury and Ordinance Enforcement. The good news is I have a very highly qualified candidate who, for the Treasury position, we may be looking at doing a special meeting mid-November. If we don't have to, we won't, but we may be looking at doing that just to get a treasurer on board. We are in violation not having a treasurer, and so that is definitely a priority. So I'm excited about our candidate as well. I can hear somebody. I don't know who it is, but I need you to mute. Somebody's on a phone.
Just a minute.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Find the damn thing.
I think it's just *6, isn't it? I don't know what we're hearing, Travis, but we have some pretty significant feedback. I don't know.
He's muted.
I don't hear it now. Okay. All right. I do want to share also that, and most of you have heard, but we did have, during our election, we had an election worker test positive for COVID the next day, the Wednesday after election. So we spent quite a bit of time Friday afternoon contact tracing, as our COVID plan says. Thank you, Anna, for coming in to get a couple numbers that I didn't have in my possession. I appreciated that very much. And Clerk Goodsell also was able to secure a grant for election during a pandemic. And I want to thank her for that. Doing that gave us an opportunity to at least give our election workers some hazard pay and to purchase some COVID protective equipment for the city that we can use after the election was over. So thank you, Anna, for the work on that. That was $5,000. That was big.
Thank you.
The Plant Moran audit will be wrapping up very soon. I'm hoping to have some pretty solid answers from them within the next couple of weeks. So more to come on that. Siegfried Crandall has been in the office twice now doing audit, our annual audit. I did have a discussion with them today specifically about their line in the audit where they say that they have talked to and signed off with, the mayor and the council, when in fact, this is the first that I have met anyone from Siegfried Crandall. So they will be presenting after the audit is accepted by the state, which is mid-end of December, it should be accepted. They will be presenting that audit to the council in early 2021. So I think that's just more transparent and a better opportunity for council to have a good understanding of the audit process and the finances through the audit process. So that will probably be happening in February of 2021. That's about it. There's lots of things happening quickly with new staff, and we're finding better ways to do things all the time, and they're working really hard for us. So I think we're definitely on the right path. So there's my update.
Absolutely.
Any questions, council, for me for specific to the update? Okay, very good. And as we learn about our city managers and we learn about what we want, we certainly added some of that to the new contract language, but I think that the communication is key. I would like pretty detailed reports coming to council, similar to the ones that I used to write before we had a city manager, and I will encourage our new city manager to do that. More communication, the better. So.
I even thought about maybe having them put out a report like every 2 weeks, even if it's just a couple, what's been happening, what's going on, what they're up to. Just kind of give council a little bit better idea of what they do on a regular basis, so we're not so in the dark.
Exactly, and that's just another way to build trust when people don't have lots of good transparent communication, then you chips away at the trust, whether we intend it to or not. It just does. So I have spent some time with Sarah continuing to say there's no such thing as over communication when we're starting in this position. So and she's very well aware of that and on board with that. So
good.
Yeah, good. Okay, then we will move on to citizen comments. While you do that, Travis, I'm gonna just tell a couple other things. The lumber mill, the lumber yard sold.
Wonderful.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Very
Uh, and Gabe worked really hard on that, by the way.
Good.
I talked with Roxanne Sieber today. There's about $3,200 in penalties and fees attached to the property. We did a little bit of math, and that's about what we paid in legal to have our desires met. So there's not a whole lot of wiggle room to give them any sort of grace on that. We definitely want to recoup what the city's put into it. But
Absolutely.
the closing is Thursday, so we're really excited.
So do you know who's buying it or what they're going to use it for or anything?
I believe it's a construction company. A couple of the buildings need to be taken down, and the building that it is parallel to the sidewalk there on 96 is probably going to be rehabbed for offices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good news.
good news.
Looks like Bree's trying to connect and can't connect. There she
I can. Can you hear me?
There she is.
Hello. Sorry, I thought the whole meeting was via Zoom, so I kind of logged on earlier and then I was connected straight. I thought the whole meeting was via Zoom, so I kind of logged. Yeah, no worries. I just thought I would check in on Midway status. Yeah, no worries. I just thought I would check in on Midway status.
Bree, that we've gone back to court with the Midway. They have listed the building for sale. They have a certain time period to sell it within before they're out of compliance again. So the property is for sale.
Okay, thank you.
That's the update. You bet. So the property is for sale. That's the update. You bet.
is. Carol? Is that Carol? Oh.
Seven 7781 is Trustee Werninger, Trav. Um, Josh is also in the waiting room. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm sorry? Yes, please. Sure. Okay. Anybody else for public comment? Okay. All right. Then we'll move to the consent agenda, which is composed of the accounts payable, the minutes, and the sheriff's report.
I do have a question probably for Anna.
Yes.
Um, I saw back in May 19th of 2020 that we paid $5,404.81 for security, for Michigan security and lock. And then this past month, we paid another $5,404.81, which is a total of just under 11,000. And can you tell me what we got for $11,000?
Got well, first of all the locks in the office, interior doors and exterior doors, new locks, 2 metal security doors, one from the lobby entrance into the office area, one into the vault, which had a hole in that door. Then there was also a pad installed by the back door, the employee entrance, for a fob to be used for entry.
And was everything master keyed? Is there now a master key to the city?
Yes, there is a master key. I have a master key. Josh has a master key, and then there's one on the city manager key ring that was left behind when Gabe left.
And I want to say that this is definitely a symptom of something we'll do better. I had no idea that this amount of money was being spent on security. However, I do think we needed to change our security, and I very much wanted a key fob. I think we could do it cheaper, but it's done. RDIF technology is cheap, and it's just a tap as well, a bar scan. But the reason that we really need to move to fobs is so that if we ever in the future have a trouble with an employee, we can just electronically disconnect them. We don't have to play the, do we have all the keys? Where did we give you keys to? It's just an electronic disconnect. And I think that that's better security. That's a lot of money for security, Trustee Marble. I get it.
It is.
I'll let you know that Brett Wachowski, the treasurer, was given keys on his first day. I have been communicating with with Brett, and he said he put those in the mail to return them today.
Okay, good.
And I'm not sure how he did it. I asked him to use some trackable method and to mail them to my home address, so it wasn't obvious what building the keys fit to.
Good idea. I have just one other question, and
Yes.
it's just that, really, it's just all these tons and tons of disbursements to the Michigan Municipal League. I think the fire and casualty, property and liability was total 17,000. I have 2 questions. First of all, now fire and casualty, what exactly is that?
That's our property and liability insurance.
So probably a lot of it's liability, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also for all the vehicles and
Oh,
the
okay.
vehicles, the insurance that goes along with the vehicles. And you see so many entries because they're charged to different funds.
Okay, because I even saw one for $1. I went, oh, that's an awful lot of work for you there, Anna.
That's what I'm hoping one of the things I'm hoping will come out of the audit is a new chart of accounts. And then the treasurer and I can work on a new way of doing things.
I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. Just one invoice.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you. Those
Thank
were
you.
my only two questions.
I think that as we move forward with Treasury and having a new treasurer, after this Siegfried Crandall audit and the Plant Moran audit, we will be instituting new best practices in our Treasury department. So, any other questions on consent? We also have the police report in the consent as well.
Do you have anything he needs to tell us other than what we have on the report?
I would defer to Captain Christensen if he has anything additional to tell us. If he could be unmuted, Travis, if he's muted.
Yep, I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I've communicated with Deputy Miller. Things seem to be doing pretty well. Does anyone have any questions?
It looks like
Fortunately, the elections went well and we didn't have any disturbances. We had extra staff on duty. If you didn't know, we tried to very low key. So we didn't disrupt any of the election process, but we had extra officers throughout the county, including Galesburg.
Well, that's good news that we had such a nice transition and election that was fairly quiet and no disruptions. Good to hear that.
and we very much appreciate the extra coverage on election because we were definitely concerned. So thank you, Captain, for that. If there are no other questions on consent agenda items, floor would be open to a motion to accept the consent agenda by roll call vote.
I move we accept the consent agenda.
I'll support.
Are you ready for roll call then? Are we doing roll call or ayes?
I think because it's virtual, we should do a roll call for everything to make it very clear.
Laura, you're on mute.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. Okay, roll call. Linda Marble, yes. Rich,
Yes.
Carol. Carol, you're on mute. Carol,
She's on mute now on my screen. Carol's muted.
I've got her twice here, both muted. Well, until she unmutes. Dennis,
Yes.
Becky. Where's Becky? I don't even
Yeah.
see her on.
Don't give me that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. There's a problem with our muting. She might still be struggling with hers. Yes.
Carol, are you on there? Doesn't look. Lori,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
we're just waiting for Carol.
I think she's there.
Are you there, Carol? Carol? Carol, Carol,
Now she's
Hello.
unmuted.
Carol,
Yay!
Yay.
Carol. There was
I
a,
had to get a different phone.
oh, Carol, there was a motion of support to approve
Yeah.
the consent agenda.
I said yes 4 times.
Okay,
I'll just have to use this phone then.
Okay,
thank you, Carol.
Uh-huh.
Okay, consent agenda passes. We'll move on to number 6, which is consideration of resolution 20201109, adopting the poverty exemption income guidelines and asset test. Any discussion?
I will let you know that this resolution's been drafted in such a way that we will not have to adopt the resolution every single year. There's a phrase in there, and I don't remember the number, the point, that it says it'll that the resolutions to make accommodations for the changes in the guidelines from year to year. It's number 5 is the point.
okay.
So Anna, what you're saying is with this language in here, then we can just adopt this and we're golden, right?
Right.
Not continue. Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you for that. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, floor would be open for a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll make
make
a
a motion.
motion to adopt resolution number 20201109, resolution to adopt poverty exemption income guidelines and asset test.
I'll support.
Thank you. We have motion and support. Trustee Marble?
Dennis,
Yes.
did you say yes, Dennis?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Becky,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Yes.
Doug. Doug,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
Linda, yes. Lori,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, motion passes. We'll move on to 7, consideration of Comcast franchise agreement. I do want you to know that I did call Clerk Goodsell at home today and say, where is this agreement I'm supposed to? And it is huge. It's a huge agreement. It is in the office if anybody wants to take a look at it. I think they're our only provider, so our only choice. But I do appreciate it being sent to legal. Thank you for that, Anna, because you are correct. They do try to sneak things in. So the good news is it's been looked at by Seth. So any questions on this, council? If there are no questions or discussion, the floor would be open for a motion to pass the Comcast franchise agreement.
I would move that we approve the Comcast franchise agreement.
Do we have support? Okay, thank you. Okay, any further discussion, council?
I'm sorry, did not hear who supported that.
Linda,
Thank you.
Roll call. Becky,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Linda, yes. Dennis,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes,
Lori.
yes. Okay, and motion passes. We'll move on to 8, consideration of the acceptance of the city manager resignation letter from July 6, 2020. Certainly. Okay, then we'll move on to number 8, consideration of the acceptance of the city manager resignation letter from July 6, 2020. I realize that this is a formality, but in the best interest of the city, we should accept this resignation.
You want a motion on that?
Yes, please.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the city manager's letter of resignation as of July 6th, 2020.
And do we have support?
I'll support that.
Who was that?
Doug.
Oh. Okay. All right. Roll call. Linda, yes. Rich,
Yeah.
Carol,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
Okay, it is accepted. And you will notice that there was a date of November 13th on that. Upon consultation with our legal team, we produced a letter to City Manager Barricker saying thank you for your service, and we're all set. So moving on to the next chapter. Okay, so we are going to go to the city manager contract. As you can see, council, we have definitely learned, given our first experience with the city manager. I like to use the analogy, it's like your first child. You have that one and you try to do everything right, and then you realize on the second one you could have done this and this and this different. So not that Miss Joshi is our second child, and I'm sure she's on, but we appreciate you, and we're going to look at this contract now. So you can see in the contract that we have highlighted some of the changes. Some of the changes were asked by Miss Joshi, specific to the for cause termination, and I think that's fair. If we're going to terminate someone for cause, we should know what those causes would be. Even though we are an at-will employer. So I will just ask if there are any questions, concerns, comments about the new contract language. And if so, now would be the time to talk about it.
I do have a few questions. And some of it's just clarification, really. On page 2, under termination B, where it says the employer shall pay the employee her biweekly salary and health plan benefits for a maximum period of 90 calendar days from the employee's date of termination of employee. Shouldn't we have there, when it says maximum period, I'm not quite sure what that means, but should we say that if she were to get employed by someone else, that should stop?
We talked about that too, and that didn't get in here. You're correct. I think it should say that.
Because when it says a maximum period, it's like saying it could be less. And
Exactly.
It could be. if she became employed with someone else.
Right, right, exactly. And so add the language of or employee obtains gainful employment in another sort of thing. Okay, we'll add that. Thank you for that, Trustee Marble. That's a good point.
Then my next question's on page 3. And what is, at the very last sentence, if a vesting period is implemented at a future date, employee's period of service will be calculated retroactively to July 25th, 2016. What's July 25th, 2016?
We wanted this to be a 3-year contract.
2016, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's not right. Not even close. Okay, we definitely will address that. Thank you.
Okay.
I've read this thing so many times. I appreciate extra eyes on it because.
And just, I still have 1 or 2. Just a second.
2016.
Where's the benefits? A minute, I gotta find the benefits. What page is that on? Where's the benefits that have the match, the retirement match?
Oh,
What page is that on?
That is
here
right
it is.
above.
It was right above where I was talking about.
Right.
The
Mhm.
same paragraph. Okay. When it says here, employer shall contribute 4% of employee's annual salary to the employee's retirement. I thought, and in our discussion, I might have misunderstood, but I thought that we were going to do a match up to a maximum of 4%. In other words, if an employee put in 2%, we would match it with 2%. We wouldn't put in 4%.
That is correct. That we determined it should be a match. Unfortunately, the past city manager offered employees 7%, the city contribution flat out. And so personnel committee is going to pull that back. That is unprecedented. A match, I mean, the employee can contribute as much as they want, but for city purposes, we want to treat our employees well. These people are doing great work for us, and we're going to pay for their excellence. But matching is where we start, and in addition to that is for the employee. And so we did agree that it would be a 4% match, Linda.
It's a 4% match, but if an employee only puts in 2%, we only match it with 2%.
And that's the match verbiage, exactly. So if they put in 1, we put in 1. If they put in 4, we put in 4. We match what they put in.
Okay, employer just shall contribute 4% in this contract, which is not right.
Right.
Okay, so that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the only other question I had is everybody is on page 4 where they left it blank to the number of unused vacation hours that need to be paid on page 4.
And that part of that is the fact that we have to pay out certain things. But I will get a hold of Seth tomorrow and see why this is blank. I noticed that it was blank too, and I was thinking that it had to do with the amount of vacation time within the contract. But yeah, let me get a hold of Seth and clarify that too.
Okay.
I don't
Or is
want.
this something that the city should, the council should determine how much vacation time they really want, or the personnel committee should discuss in the personnel policy about how many hours or days does an employee get paid of unused vacation time if they leave what without, or if they are leave without, well, at any reason, for any reason.
I think that's actually a code. I think there's some law around what we have to pay out, and vacation time, unused vacation time is part of that. So what we talk about then in the personnel committee is how much vacation time within the personnel policy do we allow to carry over?
Right.
And so that is the concern, because we don't want a long-term liability on the books so that if somebody quits, we pay them $12,000 for bad vacation time. First off, it's not healthy for the employees to not take vacation. They don't do their best work when they're stressed out and working all those hours. It's not healthy for the city to have a long-term liability like that. So there has to be a capped amount. And I thought we had talked about that being 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
So I think Personnel Committee will have to address that as we go back and look at the other areas that we need to talk about. So thank you, Trustee Marble, for your, once again, excellent work.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
The only thing he does say that Seth did put in here is he said that the employee shall perform all job duties as described in the attached job description. Well, and also the Personnel Committee is working on whose duties are whose, but it says it's attached, so I just found the job description and attached it. So I guess anyone should look at this and decide if these are all the things that we want a city manager to do, or if there's additional things, or what. This is just something that Gabe put together as an advertisement.
Right, based on the job description. I think some of that can be handled in resolution form as well. I think that the job description, once we get Sarah on board and she has a good big picture, I think the job description is going to rewrite itself live, is what's going to happen. Any other questions or comments on the contract? My goal would certainly be to get approval this evening so that we can get this signed and get Sarah in the office as of Monday in a week. This is the third negotiation that we've had now between the city and Sarah, and I'm feeling very comfortable with where we're at. And Seth worked on this weekend for us because we had last minute stuff. So
I would be comfortable offering this contract with the corrections that we talked about tonight. So I'd offer that motion.
do we have a motion to offer the contract with the changes? Do we have support?
I'll support.
Very good. Any other discussion, questions, concerns? We're open to learning how we can do it better. Okay, very good. Then we'll ask for a roll call.
Dennis?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Carol?
Yes.
Doug? Doug?
Yes.
Good, Doug.
Rich?
Yes.
Linda? Yes. Lori?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Trustee Marble, and Council. Let's move then to the resolution to create the position of city manager and the employment contract. You have a resolution in front of you.
We have a number for that, Anna?
I don't have a number on this. I think, Anna, you're going to have to assign a number because this came via email this weekend from Seth.
Yeah, I didn't get a copy of any of that. The contract, nothing.
Did I put it? Okay, so I emailed.
Okay. I checked my email this morning. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I had some trouble getting email out. This Dennis and I were on top of that. Was it in what I dropped off at your house, Rich?
No.
It came in this afternoon to me. The email came in about 2.
Yeah,
I haven't checked it this afternoon, so
Okay, it came in
I
around 2
checked it
to
this
me.
morning. That
I'm,
might be why.
I'm very sorry. I got these documents Sunday from the attorney, so
No,
I went in.
I understand. I just wanted you to be informed that I didn't have it.
Okay, I
That's
appreciate
why
that.
I'm not
Thank you.
giving you the feedback.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move forward with the resolution. And basically, I'd be happy to read it. It's brief, Rich, if you'd like me to.
I trust you guys. I mean, I don't have a problem with
So the resolution simply just, somebody needs to mute. Okay, yep, it went away. So the resolution approving the city manager's employment contract. And this is something that we talked about last month. And basically it tells us that section 5.1 of the city charter authorizes the city council by majority vote to establish such city offices as it deems necessary for the efficient and proper transaction of city affairs and prescribed by the functions of all such offices. And the city council has determined it necessary and in the best interest of the city to establish the administrative office of city manager and employ a qualified candidate. So I think that there was some discussion about what sorts of authority council had to do this, and this resolution just spells out the authority to create the position.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Okay, so
Number would be 2020-1109A.
1109A.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Anna.
you're welcome.
So floor would be open for a motion to pass the resolution 2020-1109A, approving a city manager's employment contract.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
We have a motion and support.
Okay, roll call. Linda, yes. Rich,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
All right.
Very good. Moving right along, we are going to be now looking at personnel committee recommendations, or minutes rather, from October 20. And that's one side. The other side is the personnel committee report dated October 20. Does everyone have a copy of this document?
I don't think, what is it?
It's personnel committee.
Oh,
Minutes.
It has
Yeah.
FYI on top of it.
yes, yes.
Okay,
I
very
do.
good. Very good.
Got it.
So, and you know what? I don't have to be the one from personnel committee reviewing this. So if Marble or Harmon would like to pick up, that's fine. Or I'll just go ahead and do it. Okay.
Do it to it.
All righty. So we had some discrepancies in our personnel policy, what our past city manager was offering, which deviated from the personnel policy, and then there was something in between. So we do need to clarify a couple of things. Personnel policy committee is recommending all full-time employees be eligible for health coverage as follows: that the city pays 80%, the employee pays 20%. Blue Cross premiums are based on age. There also, which I thought was interesting after talking to Jeff Lansky, who is a Blue Cross agent, I believe, or an insurance agent, who, not just Blue Cross, someone that personnel committee is going to be talking to in the very near future. There are laws around municipalities and what they can and can't pay. So 80-20 is, there's regulation around that. So, and this is news to even personnel committee. So I'm going to recommend we don't do anything on that at this point. I mean, we certainly can go 80-20, but that's as high, I think, as we can go. Currently it's 70-30. I'm totally cool with going to the 80-20 tonight, understanding that it may change once we speak to a certified insurance agent.
Lori, let me just ask you, Lori, that is in Sarah's contract. So is that a question then?
The 80-20. So as far as the executive contracts, we are okay doing those a little more personalized, in that the city manager could be offered some potential benefits that other staff may not.
Okay.
So that is the employment contract. And so that gives us that little bit of flexibility.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, I'm totally good with the 80-20. I mean, I would actually make that recommendation with the understanding that it is currently 70-30, and that there are laws around municipalities and what they can and can't offer. And 80-20, I think, is the cap of where we can go. So it may change. I don't know that for a fact until we talk to Jeff. Or Jeff. And then it also does the 4% cap that we talked about earlier in context of Ms. Joshi's contract. There are several other things that we need to address rather quickly. One is the pay in lieu. We did address that last year, and then the COVID came before we could act on it. And I believe the other one was the offset premium cap for those who are Medicare qualified, the supplemental that we pay, a cap on that. So personnel policy, we need to meet again quickly and get those in place too, because those are outstanding liabilities that the city could face quickly. Otherwise, floor would be open to discussion and or recommendations.
Well,
I really don't think.
Go ahead, Carol.
Okay. I really don't think, what they were paying in pay in lieu. To me, that was way too much. I think a flat $150 a month or $100 a month.
So I can tell you that pay in lieu is an archaic process or policy that never happens anymore. In the world of healthcare, when a city is paying $12,000 annually just for the premiums for our staff, a pay in lieu, if you don't take the insurance, you don't take the insurance. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no pay in lieu ever, anywhere anymore. So we just need that off our books. That's my thought on it. It is what it is.
Okay, that's better yet. But I just thought if we were going to, we don't need to pay a high amount.
No, nothing.
And we don't need to pay anything, apparently.
Right.
That is correct. We don't.
I'm with you guys.
Okay. I just want to mention that actually the personnel committee meeting minutes, they usually go under consent agenda because they're just I do minutes every time the personnel committee has a meeting. And so I really think they need to be just approved since they weren't under the consent agenda. You're on mute, Lori.
This is my husband's dream format right here. Okay, yes, I do agree. They typically are under consent agenda, and given the election and the COVID exposure, Anna did her best to pound this out with me, and then we added to it. So you're right, though. We'll do it that way. So I guess floor would be open to accepting the personnel policy meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll support it.
Okay, we have a motion. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Linda, yes. Rich,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
Okay.
All set?
Yes.
Thank you. So, all right, that's one side. Let's flip it over and see if we want to take on any of this tonight. And Anna, will you clarify something for me? We can introduce this tonight. Do we have the liberty of accepting action on this tonight, or do we need to wait until a December meeting?
No, when it's a regular meeting, you can amend the agenda and take any action on those agenda items. You did amend the agenda, so you can go ahead and
Okay,
take action if
thank you.
needed.
So any further discussion on any action that would be taken this evening?
Well, I'm all for, the personnel committee recommended the 4% match, and that's what we are giving the city manager, and we'd like to give it to all employees. It's our recommendation. And also, unless otherwise determined, I'd also like to recommend the 80-20 health insurance benefits for employees and their dependents. So unless there's, I will make that motion. Let's just put it that way.
I'll support it.
Was that you, Rick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you please say in your motion, add an effective date for both of these? Because they're different than what's currently being done.
An effective date. Lori, Becky, do you guys have suggestions for the effective date of this?
The question I have is did you just ask for an 80-20 for all employees?
Yes. Determined by what the insurance agent tells us. If he tells us different, then we can't, but for all employees and their dependents. That's what we determined, Becky, you know, at our meeting, remember?
Yeah, we did. What I'm questioning is that they said, you know, the 80-20 for the executive or the executive spot, and that it might be, I mean, that there might be a question on that it might be lower with insurance thing, you know, agency.
Right. And so that's why I put in my motion. I said 80-20 for all employees unless it's determined that we can't offer that high. But if we can, I offer all employees the 80-20 for employees and dependents.
80-20 cost across the board for all of them. Okay.
Yeah. And then the 4% match. But what I don't know is we did not determine an effective date.
Anna?
Yeah.
Anna, is next payroll on the 16th?
Yes.
Okay, so the next payroll would be November 16th, a week from today.
I'll just let you know that this will be an effective pay decrease for all employees participating, because right now we are paying 100% of the premium.
Yes, we are.
And that, unfortunately, our personnel policy required 70-30, and that was a decision, an unauthorized decision made by our past city manager.
Oh, I totally understand that, but it just
Yes.
needs to be communicated to the employees.
I think it needs to be definitely communicated to all employees before we start deducting from their paychecks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very important.
So I think it would be, I do as well. So
you know, because possibly, I think some people possibly had the chance, you know, to be on their spouses, but when they heard that the employer was going to pay 100% for all, they went on ours. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm guessing this might have happened.
That's not the case.
It's not the case? Okay, thanks, Anna.
Yep.
Well,
how Anna,
Yes.
can I ask Anna, how many do we have on our payroll that are taking our insurance right now?
3.
Okay.
Is
Clarifies a lot.
Is it just 3? I thought it was more.
Well, it's Josh,
it's
Brian,
not Gabe now, right?
Josh, Brian, and Benita. And Gabe was removed effective the 13th.
Okay, so there's 3.
I don't think we ought to do it by the 16th. I think we ought to wait till the next pay period so we have a chance to,
The end of the month payroll?
yeah, whatever the,
The
That
first
would
one in
be,
December, I think it's
Yeah.
December 2nd.
and besides,
Can we start? I mean,
when are the health
can
insurance
we,
premiums paid, Anna?
They are due mid-month. I think like the second week of the month sometime they're due.
Is that for the next month?
Yes, it's for the following month.
So next week, mid-month, we pay and it's good through the middle of December.
Right.
can we, because, this is just a question, because, and I might get, but because they're going to take a pay cut, there's 3 employees that are going to be taking a pay cut. Can we start? I mean, if we're going to do this and implement it, can we start at the first of the year so that at least have up till after Christmas to have the regular, and then we start at the first of the year implementing this?
It's not a bad idea, Becky.
I think
Well,
that's a,
Yeah,
We're starting
because,
Sarah on the 16th with this. And
but she's a new employee with that, and that's just what I'm saying. But there are other employees we started out at 100%. That's just a question. If we start, I mean,
so
maybe it screws everything up. I don't know.
what we did was we offered the new employees, were offered something that they were not legally able to get. They were offered that,
Yeah.
but that's the new employees. So like the old employees, I don't know that we ever enforced the 70-30 premiums. I think that we've paid 100% all along.
Yes, we paid 100%.
no, they weren't even on our Blue Cross. They all were getting payment in lieu, and they were all on their spouses. Blue Cross Blue Shield was dormant for years because everybody was getting payment in lieu and on their own private insurance policies.
Right, but some of our new hires that were hired before Gabe, Brian, I think, has been on the insurance all along.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
Right, and he should have been 70-30, so he should have been 70-30, and that's even, I think, what we told him. When we first interviewed, we explained it was 70-30, so, and now, and I don't know what he was actually paid, if he was paid 100% from day one or not, I don't know.
I don't
But-
either, but I think it's a good idea to wait till the new year. Yeah.
Just because we're giving them a pay cut and it's right before Christmas. I mean, it just seems like it would be fair to give them a warning that it's as of January 1st, it's going to be changed.
I agree. I agree, because I feel really bad about this.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
normally,
we all do.
we would have been giving them a good report. Normally, they would have
Yes.
been paying 70-30, and we would have said, well, we're changing it to 80-20, so you're having less taken out, but that's not happened. So, and I feel really
Mhm.
bad, but I think we should start on the 1st of January.
Mhm.
And there may be something around open enrollment when we can take people on and off.
Yeah.
Or better find different insurance that has lower premiums too.
Yeah. Because with the 3 now, but with the 4, we were $10,000-$12,000. I mean, and these premiums are age-based, all of Blue Cross is, so they just keep going up. The premiums keep going up, so.
Yeah, I agree. I think we ought to wait till the 1st.
Mhm.
What's that in your motion?
Okay, so my motion will be that the recommendations of the Personnel Committee, paying employees for health insurance, 80% employees and their dependents, 80% employer, 20% employee, unless we have our insurance agent says we can't do that, but if we don't, 80-20 effective on January 1st. And also paying on a retirement plan a maximum, match an employee up to city's maximum 4%. And that will be effective, let's make everything effective the same date, all January 1st.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion in support for the 80/20 for premium offset and 4% match,
Yep.
city match, 4% maximum match by the city for retirement. Okay, any other discussion or concerns, council, anything else? All right, we'll call the vote.
Okay. Dennis,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
Linda, yes. Lori,
Yes.
Lori.
Yes. Okay, very good. We'll move on to the Board of Review, the resolution. Anna, I don't have a resolution on this either. John just gave it to me this afternoon.
Right, it would be 2020-11-1109B.
Thank you, Anna. Again, this simply gives the Board of Review a week to set a meeting date as opposed to the Tuesday the state requires. They give the Board of Review the leeway to set it within a 7-day period or something, as long as we accept that as a municipality. So it simply just gives them a little flexibility for dates.
You just need
So-
a motion to pass that resolution.
I'll support it.
All right, so resolution number 2020-1109B.
Yes.
Who gave the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Rich?
Yep.
Dennis, did you support?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Always fun this way.
Oh, my God. Okay. Linda, yes. Rich,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
Okay.
No
I
music.
hear opera. I hear
I was
opera.
gonna say.
Just a second. I thought
Okay.
I thought I just put a little class in.
All right, the fat lady has sung. We're done.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost.
Resolution passes. All right, we will try to get Supervisor Rains unmuted so he can give us his report. Your phone is showing muted on my screen, Josh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, Josh, can you talk really quickly? I don't hear Josh.
Oh, unmuted.
Josh, you need to type *6 into the phone dial to unmute yourself. 1 second here. Let me call him. Hey, Josh, are you still there?
His phone should be muted.
Okay. Can you rejoin the call? Exit and then re-enter. All right, thank you. Give me. Cool. He's gonna re-enter the call. He's tried *6 and it's not working, so give him a minute here. Just trying to work out the technical difficulties of this. I'm not
Okay.
sure why it's not.
Well, we're waiting for Josh to pick back up. I'm just going to let you know that, yes, we are picking up leaves. The vacuum tube broke last week. It never, of course. And so we had to order the part. Josh ordered the part. He got it in. They got it back on today. And so they're out there with the vac. In the meantime, Josh was a fast thinker and got a hold of Gull Lake Sewer and Water and rented a trailer for $80 a day so that with the front end loader, he could continue to get those leaves in the trailer into the compost site. So that is awesome.
I watched them do it on my street and they were doing it fast.
Yeah.
That
So
was great.
good thinking on his part. He's
Absolutely.
on the ball.
I praise him. He's been quite a challenge for leaves this year. They've been falling so slowly that it's hard to keep up. And
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of them. I've got a lot out front. So, but they've been doing a good job. I just want to let you guys know that from what I've seen, they've been doing a heck of a job. Some temporary setback for last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, we can, Josh.
Yes. Yay. All right. I was just filling them in on the leaf vac dilemma that you got right on.
Yes,
Thanks,
the
Josh.
part was ordered. There's actually a quote in your guys' packet for that hose. I spoke with Lori that day and we got it ordered.
Yeah, but there's no quote in the package. Sorry, we didn't get it in.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. The quote is for. Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone here. I'm sorry, I don't have a paper copy. I've got it on my email here. Okay, the quote is for $852.73. The part came in this morning. We were able to put the part on, and we were vacuuming leaves after lunch. So,
Good job, Josh.
Yep.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you for the fast thinking on getting the trailer from Gull Lake Sewer and Water. You did an awesome job. And believe it or not, half of the busy today in the office was simply, when are you going to get my leaves? So we know we're doing a service for that people really want and need. So thank you, Josh.
let me pull up my report here. Okay. 2 large items on it. Water main breaks. We had 2 of them. One was off of Mill Street behind the bakery back there. It was just to the east of our parking lot. We were able to hydro excavate that up and repair it. Unfortunately, it was underneath of the homeowners or the business owners' concrete, so there will be a little bit of concrete repair added on to that fix. Bill is working with he has a contractor that they always work with for concrete. So he's in the process with that. The other one was on Battle Creek Street across from the old Matheson nursing home. That one was in the grassy, the area that was in between the sidewalk and the road. We did excavate that and repair it. There will be no concrete or anything like that. It was all in the grass. So that one is good to go. Also, we've had quite a few water quality and pressure complaints. I think that most of this was from Flushing, Hill, and Gull Lake. Flushed about a month ago. So right after that is kind of when, all this began here. Every one of the quality and pressure complaints, none of them were city related. It was all the homeowners' service lines and filters and softeners and such. So last week, my part-time employee Brad got quarantined. His spouse works at the school, and the school had an outbreak in the high school. So the health department called him and basically for precautionary measures, they wanted him to quarantine and test. He tested on Wednesday. He got his results back on Friday, and everything was okay. So he was back to work today. The vacuum failure we already discussed. The Mistigs, they were kind of at a low amount this month. That kind of slowed down a little and gave us a break. The only other thing is the plow truck. I actually got a call from him after work. Got some pictures of it. The frame is totally been done. They blasted it. Everything is clean and ready for paint. The box on the back has been assembled like on the floor. After the paint is totally done, the box can be put on. I got a timeline of about the 20th, he said. They're running a little bit behind due to Kalamazoo County ordered 10 plow trucks of some kind, and that caused them to backlog about a week or two. So, but other than that, I think everything else has been covered.
Luckily, we've been having nice weather. We won't have to use it yet.
Yeah, there was a weekend there where I was kind of getting a little antsy, but
yeah,
it turned out okay.
Josh, you shared with me that we were a little bit over that quote by several $1,000s because once they tore the box down, they found some other things that needed to be addressed, which it is what it is. We've got to have the truck.
Correct. I believe I have that quote in my email. I would have to look again. Honestly, I forgot all about the extra quote, so I apologize about that. But yes, when they tore everything apart, they found that the frame in the rear of the truck was in terrible, terrible shape. The price tag that they put on that was about $3,000. At this point, we didn't have too much of a choice, because if we told them to hold off on it, then they couldn't have put anything back on the truck. So, we were kind of in between a rock and a hard spot there. So they were able to rebuild the frame from the cab all the way back. Also, he found that one of the shocks on the rear was split in half. So they also put new ones on the rear.
Wow.
So,
Cool. Hang
I
on
do-
just 1 second. Trustee Smith, are you with us?
He's muted.
Yeah, I'm where.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're okay.
Yeah,
I know you just had a procedure and I saw your head down on your desk for a
No,
while. I
wasn't
was a little
sleeping.
freaked
I
out.
wasn't sleeping.
Sleep
I
if
had-
you want, but
You wouldn't hear me snore anyway, so.
okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I just was a little concerned. Thank you, Doug.
So the plow truck is going to be about $3,000 to $5,000 over the original price that was quoted. She did call me like probably about an hour before our meeting. They were having a couple of issues with height and a couple other kind of minor issues here that we I changed a couple of design items on it that will allow them to fit the truck into our garage. So other than that, it's going pretty well. And like I said, the time on it was about the 20th of this month.
Cool. Thanks, Josh. We really appreciate you staying on top of that. This truck has needed to be fixed for quite some time. So
Sounds like it was
Okay.
worse than we thought.
yeah, it does. So I'm glad we got it in.
Definitely. I've got a question about that Oak Grove Cemetery vault repair. What happened there?
Okay, this is another item that I was going to bring up. Previous city manager Barricker sent that to the engineer because they were going to take a look at it. The engineer did email back and say that if we aren't ready to spend upwards of about 30 grand, then it's better to just tear it down. And there wasn't any answer on the email that I know of. So I'm not sure where that got pushed to, if it got pushed around me or, kind of what happened with that. So as of right now, it's everything over there hasn't changed. I mean, it's all the same. There hasn't been any more
Just on hold.
wraps or anything, but
Josh, don't even have a use for the vault anymore because we can do burials in frozen ground. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So I got a quote for demolish from a contractor out of Climax, Michigan. And it was a relatively good quote. I mean, it's about as cheap as you're going to get it. And that was turned into Gabe roughly a week or two after it, we noticed it. Like I said, I'm not positive what kind of motion he made with it or,
Yeah, to my knowledge, Josh, there has been no motion. I will look for that tomorrow. Anna's going to be back tomorrow. Yay! So we'll figure this one out, and I'll give y'all an update on where we're at with what previous city manager has given us, and then this $30,000 vault rebuild from Swartz and Pre-Niehoff. So I was wondering the same thing. So council would be good to hear about your thoughts on this issue, because the choice will be to rebuild it. For what purpose, or to demolish it because it's cheaper and we don't need it. So there is historical value there, but I think we need to look at the cost as well. So,
Are there any current residents?
no, we don't use it anymore.
I have a lot of relatives buried all around it.
That vault was used back in the like 40s and 50s as a storage vault for frozen ground. As far as I know, that vault hasn't been utilized in.
So it was just a temporary storage type situation is all it was used for.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
I get it.
It was built before we had the technology to excavate frozen ground.
Right.
So.
Correct.
Yeah, I would say demo it if we don't need it.
I agree.
Does anybody know how close there's graves to that?
Yes, there are 2 graves that are directly behind it. If I had to take a guess, roughly about 6 feet behind it. The contractor who quoted that is aware of it, and he told me that it wouldn't be an issue.
Sounds reasonable.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, that's helpful as we, I mean, we need to address this. It's a liability. It's open. It's falling down. Rocks are falling daily. But that's very helpful to know, so we can point the ship in the right direction here and get this taken care of soon. So.
Yeah, if we could get, for the next meeting, get the quote from this Climax contractor, maybe we can vote on it.
I think he's already quoted. I know him. I have coffee with him, but I don't know what the quote was.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know we
He did.
have.
Yeah.
He did quote it, and it was turned in to the office. So the only quote that I had was turned in. So I do not have a quote. That quote will be located anywhere in the office, I guess. I'm not sure.
We'll figure it out and we'll get the information out to you. But yeah, I think getting the information out, making sure the quote is still viable in December, and getting that information to council is absolutely the next step. So. Anything else you want to share with us, Josh?
Nope. I think at this point we're everything, all of our energy at the time right now is leaves, so we're picking those up every day, all day, and they're all up.
Excellent. One of the things that Josh and I did talk about, and I know that in years past we have authorized this. They got through it this year, or are getting through it this year, but typically we have a part-time seasonal worker in addition to Brad when it comes to some heavy duty times like leaf pickup and so on. And I know that last year we had approved that. I'm not sure that we actually hired the person. That was last year or the year before, but so Josh was expressing the fact that there was just only 2 full-time and 1 part-time, and they just didn't have enough manpower to get everything done at this busy time of year. So I just want to put that out there for council to remember, and Josh, to encourage you, if you have those sorts of needs, to please come to this current city manager and or council and express your needs for manpower, because we have to give you the tools to do the job. So.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work, Josh.
You're doing great, Josh. We're
Thank
so
you.
happy you're here.
Thank you.
The other thing I want to share, Josh, is that there are some tasks at City Hall that should be done for winterizing, and maybe we can touch base about those this week.
Okay. I know that the bathrooms at the park are winterized, and the park over by the DPW barn is also winterized. So
Great. Okay, and you also know about the door on the Guthrie room, correct?
yes, we are in the front. I'm going to attempt to repair the equipment that we have. If not, I'll have to go and try to find some parts and pieces there.
Great. Okay, perfect. All righty. Thank you, Josh. Anything else?
Nope.
Any questions, council? If not, the floor would be open for a motion. Floor would be open for a motion to accept the DPW report.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
Okay, who made the motion and supported?
Rich.
Rich and,
Not good.
oh, Doug. Hey, Doug. Okay. Dennis,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
Linda, yes. Lori,
Yes.
okay.
Great. Very good. Thank you, Trustee Marble. And thank you so much, Josh. Again, we're super happy you're on our team. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ready. And with that, we will move to council comment. Trustee Holman, do you have comment this evening?
I think we've covered everything I know about.
Very good. Thank you. Rich?
I have a question for Anna. Great Lakes Underground Technology, are they the ones that pulled the permit to run the fiber optics on my street last week?
Wow. No one came in to pull any permits last week. So
Well,
that might need a little investigation.
There was an email. I had Gabe take care of it, so he might not have informed you. But I got a check. It's to the city of Galesburg, but it's my address from them. So I'm assuming that's what it's for, or possibly something else. But it's to the city, but it's my address
Okay,
from Great Lakes Underground Technologies. You can call me tomorrow or something if you
okay.
want to discuss it with it.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
hey, guys.
I'll just bring it down tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
That'll work. Okay, that's all I got.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
Also with that, the right-of-way permits need to go through the Public Works Department. I know that we kind of gotten away from doing that in the previous about 6 months, but there is sewer lines and there are water lines in there, and the reason why they pull a permit is so we can promise them that everything isn't in the way. So if Great Lakes came in there and bored, we have to approve
Miss
that.
Dig was out here. Miss Dig was here. So I don't know if they contracted it out, but
we
Gabe
had
was
zero
handling it.
knowledge of this at all. And that can, obviously this isn't a problem now, but that could cause an extremely large issue.
I agree. I understand. That didn't come through me, is all I'm saying. I just tried moving it along.
Right.
The way they
I just
went
wanted
about
to-
pulling the permit was sending an email to the city manager. That was the only contact that they made.
Right, which is, I mean, is awesome, but the city manager has no knowledge of where all of our infrastructure is. So I'm just bringing it up that those permits need to come through us first.
I agree.
Travis, is there a way for you to get us the old emails from the city manager so we can check on things? No, not right now, but okay. Okay, we can talk about it tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk about it tomorrow and make sure that we're redirecting them all in the right way. And we need remote access, but that's a John thing? Is that a John thing? Yeah. Okay, got it. I can't keep track. Okay. Thank you, Rich, very much for pointing that out. I know it gets definitely complicated on 35th because parts Comstock and parts us, and the guy across cut stuff, and some of it's ours and some of it's theirs. So
Right.
it's been a challenge. All right, very good. Becky, do you have any comments this evening?
I don't have any comments this evening, but everybody have a great month.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Doug, any comments this evening?
Yeah, I've always been against it, but I think you should consider next month to look at the council and give the council a raise.
You've always been against it?
No,
Never,
Doug, I second that.
It's never, the more I look at it, and I know a lot of people have expressed interest, or concerned about it, and I
Yeah.
got over it, and it's been, what, 30 years?
Yes.
96 since
Yes.
I had a raise.
Just to let you know, we're the lowest paid council in probably all of Michigan. Is that correct, Lori?
Hey, we're number one.
Everybody else, we're number one and the lowest paid. Yes.
But I'd like to have that put on the books so you can consider it next week or next month.
Unfortunately, that's a charter issue, and we will be going into the new year aggressively pursuing charter amendments.
Okay, that's fine.
And that will be one of them. So we certainly will be calling on past council members to help us.
I don't follow.
So you guys aren't going anywhere. We know where you live.
Marked up.
I think it's called mute.
Oh, stop. Okay, thank you for that, Doug. And thank you so much for all of the years of service. Very much appreciate that. Carol, any comments this evening?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Great, thank you. Linda.
No, I just want to tell Anna that I will scan and email this roll call information to you tomorrow. So you can have that. And I just want to say it sure is nice, instead of sitting at a desk where I have to turn my head, just to look at a screen and see all of you, except for the couple of you there on the phone. It's just really nice doing it like that.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, I'm just going to thank you all for your patience as we work through learning how to work with the city manager, as we work through COVID-19, and as we work through moving carefully through city policies and procedures and updating them to 2020 and beyond. I thank you all for that. I will be actively involved once again this next week, especially, but with our new city manager doing a very targeted handoff of files and information. I think that we have picked the utmost best person for this position, and I'm really looking forward to the next 2 years. So thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And with that, I would take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Can we just all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. See you soon. Thank you.
Okay.
All
Good night,
right.
everybody.
Good night. Thank